What's up, folks? We are back with another wrestling rant. Don't forget you all to like, share, and subscribe. Make sure you comment in the videos. We love the engagements. Let's keep it rolling. So we're going to hit on Raw, NXT, SmackDown, Dynamite. Oh, NXT and Dynamite went head-to-head this weekend for about an hour. So that was interesting. A little reminiscent of the old Monday Night Wars, but I digress. Talking about Dynamite, some Rampage, as well as SmackDown, and of course, Wrestle Dream, the AEW pay-per-view event. So first, let's start off with Monday Night Raw. We had Seth Rollins come out at the end of CM Punk's promo where he says he's taking time off because of that Hell in a Cell match, which, given, I get it. Man, they beat the snot out of each other. It was a great match. And yeah, so I definitely can see him taking his time off. And Seth letting CM Punk know we still got unfinished business, which is good. That's lead up. Man, they just so many things they can go, and so many places they can go with that. All in all, for Raw was a decent show. Jay successfully defended his Intercontinental title against Xavier Woods. I just want to know, it keeps on heading towards Xavier turning heel. I want Kofi to turn heel. I want Kofi to turn heel on Xavier Woods to break up the New Day. I want it to be Kofi. Then we had, Judgment Day, primarily Dominic and Damian Priest continuing their thing. Rhea and Liv, that's things now Raquel in there, so that's still going on. We also got the main event. The main event was Gunther versus Sami Zayn, and I am so glad Sami Zayn did not win. I am so glad Sami Zayn did win. I'm like, you can't take the heavyweight championship off of Gunther. And at the end, Gunther and Cody Rhodes faced off. Like, yep, we're gonna see each other at Crown Jewel for that big, crazy-looking Crown Jewel title. So that was Raw all in all. I mean, angles, promos, and all that stuff were happening in the mix. I mean, a lot of it I'm not even going to lie, I was kind of like tuning out. It was just background noise to me because it was okay, but, it was what it was. The matches were good. The talking segments kind of, got old for me. So that was the takeaway from Raw. Next, we got NXT, which was star-studded, by the way. It started out with Mr. Whoop That Trick himself, the new NXT champion, Trick Williams. And who accompanied him? The Yeet Man, Jey Uso. So they had a good old chant of Whoop That Trick, Yeet, going on at the same time, which I thought was fun for the crowd, Like, okay, cool. It was entertaining. And then after that, they had out Jade, Bianca, and Kalani Jordan. I'm like, oh, so all the champions are there now. Okay, cool. And then the girls stayed and had a 3-in match which they won. And I'm glad they're doing this with Jade, letting her work in NXT, letting her do matches with NXT. That way she gets some experience and she get better in the ring. So I'm glad they did that. And then after that on NXT, it was just the usual stuff. And I again, when they started doing those interviews and promos, I tuned out because, especially since they had Sexy Red there, I don't want to see Sexy Red on my wrestling. I just don't. My preference, I'd rather not. But after that, then we had main event, Randy Orton. Oh man, Randy Orton, he main evented it, and although the end spot was supposed to be an RKO from the top rope, and the young guy, I forget his name, he undershot it a little bit. I do appreciate the fact how mature Randy has gotten, how he helped him up, and the guy was so apologetic, like, man, I'm sorry, I missed the spot. Randy's like, it's okay, man, you're the man. But he said, you're the effing man. And then he held his arm like, no, because he did good. I can't lie, he did great. He reminds me of Ricochet, but better on the mic, if that makes any sense. So he did really well. Just except for that spot, and I'm glad that he had a mentor like Randy, like, hey, dude, it's okay. We all miss spots every now and then, but it's okay. You did good. So I'm glad he had that word of encouragement. Then, well, on top of that, Dynamite was happening too. AEW Dynamite was happening. And to be quite honest, I don't remember what happened on it because it was that lackluster. I was like, is the same people having the same matches, beating the snot out of each other for 15, 20 minutes with no payoff. I truly believe, man, Chris Statlander deserves so much better. She really does. I like Chris Statlander. I like Willow Nightingale. I like them both. I was like, man, they could actually do something over in WWE, but they just gonna be pigeonholed where they at as long as they stay there. And I mean, you know what? It's their choice to stay there. I just don't want them to get their career shortened doing all that crazy garbage type stuff. But I mean, with AEW Dynamite, none really stood out except for the awful promos that they were cutting backstage. I'm like, I mean, I'm like, good grief. So that was Dynamite. I ain't got much to say on that one because I don't remember much about it. Then we got Rampage, because I watched some of that first. I had to watch SmackDown later, but I watched some of Rampage, and a whole bunch of flippy doos for no reason. I mean, I don't know why they had the Beast Mortos and Hologram. They won a 2 out of 3 falls match at Wrestle Dream. I'm getting ahead of myself, but I'm like, why? Like, why? What purpose does it serve? I mean, they're trying to get the whole Blackpool Combat Club thing, make that a thing. I'm like, but isn't Blackpool a place in England that no member, that seemingly none of them are from? Maybe other than Pac. I'm like, well, what is this even about? So, this was like, that was whatever. Now, SmackDown, where the main thing was, hey, again, in promos and whatnot, and you know, it's easy to tune that stuff out. But the backstage stuff was like, okay, whatever. But then we got Roman and Jimmy. Man, Roman and Jimmy, they started the show. Jimmy came out first, then Roman came out, and he was like, you're chief of no tribe, and I'm the only one in the family that still acknowledges you. I'm like, okay. That one hits tough, and Jimmy had his main event with Solo, and Solo won. He beat him clean, and it wasn't necessarily clean. You know, he had some outside interference. Jacob Fatu helped out a little, was helping out, but I mean, he pinned him in the middle of the ring, and then they started beating up Jimmy, and then Roman came out, and they beat up Roman too. Like, so they left the tribal chief, the original tribal chief, and Jimmy. They left them laying, and Jimmy saying, "We need help." So is that a way to bring Jay back in? Who we bringing in? Bringing in somebody new? What's going down with that? So I can't wait for that. I cannot wait for that to happen. Then that was pretty much SmackDown. A lot of the matches were fine for the most part. Honestly, man, it was forgettable. It was forgettable. Nothing stood out like, whoa, I gotta watch this other than the Bloodline stuff. That was what stood out the most. So that was SmackDown, folks. Now, Wrestle Dream. Oh, Wrestle Dream. AEW's Wrestle Dream. Where we had Ricochet, Ospreay, and Takeshita in a triple threat match where Ospreay and Ricochet did all their flips. Now, when they did their little beginning sequence, when they posed for Spider-Man, I'm glad Takeshita just drop kicked them both. Good, finally interrupt that nonsense. Okay, that's all that choreography. Then they would hit all these moves and no one cared. They would just get up and hit a German suplex to another German suplex to a poison rana to another poison rana. I'm like, what is going on here? Like, nothing matters. No moves don't do anything. They have no effect, except for that bump that Ricochet took through that table with the catch. Like he really broke the table with his head. I'm like, yeah, That one looked kind of scary. I'm like, I don't know if he's gonna, stay healthy, keep doing those kind of spots. That looked like it was painful. And oh Lord, Mariah May versus Willow Nightingale. There's no way that 108-pound Mariah May should have beaten Willow Nightingale. There's no way that should have happened. And she did her power driver, which literally, Willow had to do it herself. She had to do the whole move herself. She had to get herself up and kick her feet out so that Mariah could fall in power driver. I'm like, that I don't like that at all. There's no way that should have went down. Then we got the Young Bucks. Of course, they retained, which all their matches are just the exact same thing. Everyone does 109 moves. Everyone kicks out of everything. Then they hit the little goofy finish. They this time, at least it did the Meltzer driver or the TK driver, which it looks somewhat bad. But I think the one who does the flip, man, he takes the brunt of it. I'm like, he just falls right on his butt. I'm like, I know that gotta hurt. I know that has to hurt. You had Jericho and Mark Briscoe, which I'm glad Briscoe won, but I don't ever need to see another Jericho match. I've been saying that since Jericho's been in AEW. Like, what are you doing here? It's like, it's getting worse. It's getting worse. It's not getting any better. I was hoping for a plateau at some point, but then just seeing it and the history of it, it's just gotten worse. He's sloppy in the ring. I'm like, dude, are you even going over this stuff? It looks so fake and phony. I'm like, oh my Lord. Oh, Jericho, please retire. That's not just a chant. That's an action you need to take. Please retire. It's over with. And then, I'm pretty sure I skipped the match in there in between, but I didn't hold my attention. The Adam Cole and Hangman Page match. Best match of the night. Can't lie. Best match of the night. Didn't like the fact that Adam Cole took a bump on the steps, a power bomb on the steps to get alone win the match. That is an injury angle. You can flip like he put me out for this time, for whatever reason. Now I'm back for revenge. Dude, that was an injury angle. You just took that bump and that was it. They kept on going like nothing ever happened. And that was a pretty cool counter to the buckshot layout. That was a pretty cool counter. I did like that. That was good. I was like, that was the best match of the night. Everything else just downhill from there. Because Dana Garcia, who cares? Like, seriously, who cares? No. Who cares? MGF came out. Dude, why are you still interacting with this guy? You have main event level skills. Why are you bothered with a mid-carder? Seriously. Then we got, not just that, Darby Allin. And I'm going out of order with these matches here, but Darby Allin, I'm like, what? Why? He should have been broken in half by his opponent. As big as his opponent was compared to him, he beat him with that little ridiculous coffin drop. I'm like, that's a stupid move. It's such a dumb move. Man, it's an idiotic move. He won, whoopity, whatever. That just made me angry. That just made me mad because, like, there's no way he should have won that match. He should have got squashed completely. But the main event, Moxley versus Danielson. Full-time career versus a guy who sucks. Because Moxley sucks. Moxley won, and first of all, the plastic bag spot was bad when they did it at the last pay-per-view. It didn't get any better when they did this one. They just had Wheeler Yuta did it. They just had Yuta do it this time. They had Wheeler Yuta. Man, I had Wheeler Yuta do it this time. So, yeah, that's how that ended. And then the commentary. What? When Danielson lost, why on earth was one of those commentators starting to cry? Oh my goodness. It was the worst fake cry I've ever seen. The worst. So all in all, wrestling, I say, given pay-per-view and everything like that, I say this week it was a B minus for me. It was okay, but yet at the same time forgettable. And it was a couple of moments that stood out, but nothing in particular, except for the ridiculousness in AEW. I'm like, why are you doing the plastic bag spot? It didn't go well the first time. Why are you running it back? It's so stupid. And we know Danielson's not going to compete full-time anymore, but he's still part-time. That's like he's going right off to the sunset, never to wrestle again. No, he just said he's not going to have a full-time schedule anymore. Good grief. He's not retiring like Sting is. He's going to drop down to part-time. He's going to do a couple matches a year. But that plastic bag spot, that's so gross. It don't mean anything. I don't know what Moxley and them are trying to do. I have no idea. And his little stupid character sucks. He walking through the crowd. Just knock it off already. But I said, all in all, wrestling this past week was a B minus. Let's see what happens this week, y'all. Let me know what you like, what you didn't like, what stood out for you. Remember, post, like, share, and subscribe. Put in the comments, y'all. We talk to you soon. Peace.